Yo, what is up guys, it's Andrew here with SkillQuest, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you my top 4 tips for getting your first front lever. Now again, just like in my OAC and human flag video, I do not proclaim to be an expert in any of these moves. I'm just a guy who enjoys tackling these challenges so that I can eventually and hopefully help you do the same. With that being said, let's jump right in. Tip number 1. Get good at rolling your wrists forward. Now what do I mean by rolling your wrists forwards? Well, I mean this. And the reason I suggest getting good at this is because when you're hanging in that front lever position, you're forced to simultaneously push and pull your torso away from your feet, which is very difficult to do. So how do you get good at rolling your wrists forward, you might ask? Well, there's mainly only one exercise that I use to accomplish this, and this is the false grip pull-up. Now unfortunately, this pull-up variation can only be performed on gymnastic rings. But in my opinion, if you can get your hands on some, they will be worth their weight in gold, because false grip pull-ups are the best way to build that forearm flexor strength. Now the basic principle behind the false grip is that when you grip the rings, instead of letting the ring rest on the bases of your fingers, you're going to curl the ring deeper into your palm so that the weight of your body is supported mainly by your palm, obviously, rather than your fingers. This flexed position of your wrist is very difficult to hold when starting out, to say the least. But with some diligent practice, you should get the hang of it in a couple weeks. Now tip number 2, develop your scapular retraction strength. One of the things you'll notice about a lot of people's front levers, myself included, is that their lever just looks kind of saggy. And this is because there's usually a lack of strength in the rhomboids and trapezius muscles. And the best way that I've found to strengthen these muscles is by doing arching active hangs. Now as you can see from the footage of me here, I still have a ways to go in order to get that perfect scapular retraction, and this is where the active hangs come in. So essentially all you're going to do in this exercise is hang onto the bar with your lower legs angled backwards and practice squeezing your scapulas together so that your chest effectively comes closer to the bar. If you do this correctly, you should feel particularly good soreness in your shoulders and upper back the next day. As you can tell, I still need to work on those. Alright, so moving on to tip number 3. Practice your supra maximals. Now just like in my OAC video, I advocated for practicing your one-arm chin-ups with extra weight so that your muscles become accustomed to working under higher loads. Then, when you take off the weights, you'll feel like Goku and look like a beast. And the same concept applies here. Get yourself either a weighted vest or a dumbbell and practice doing some negative levers. Even just trying negatives with shoes on can be enough weight to really give yourself a challenge. Now my last and final tip is really the one that helped get me over that hump in being able to hold the front lever for more than a second or two. You see, my biggest problem when I was starting out was that I did all the progressions that all the experts on YouTube said to do for over a month. And it wasn't until I used this little nifty trick that I was finally able to hold the front lever for over 3 seconds. So all you are going to do in this exercise is loop an exercise band of your choosing around a horizontal bar. Step on the band with both feet, and then try to hold the lever position as long as you can. So remember guys, your goal is not to do a high amount of reps with any of these exercises. This is a very neurologically intense move. And if you try and push it and go for a lot of reps, you can either end up hurting yourself or it's just going to take you a really long time to get the front lever. So just remember, do a low amount of reps, take it slowly, and stay safe with your training. SkillQuest